Potato abuse.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. What did you do to the potato? We heard a scream.
That wasn't me.
That was my baby because she wanted to get up on my lap.
Oh.
There was the other potato in the room. There were potato.
Oh.
So yes, Jazzy is joining us tonight.
My goodness.
I know it's a little ridiculous. Yes, Jazzy the potato.
I've literally seen sweet potatoes bigger than that though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have. I have actually. When we were in Idaho, I had a baked potato that was significantly bigger than her.
That works. So when repeatedly asked for the topic for tonight, I said, screw it. Because sometimes we have to call uncle. And I am not good at this at all. But I managed it today. And it was probably only because, no, it's not. Because if it was a client that wasn't awesome, I would have been like, but I originally had scheduled like half a day for today. One Black Russian Terrier, which can be half a day's work when you're trying to do it, like wash him in an upstairs bathroom. But halfway through doing him, I got a text from a client saying 3:30 today, right? And I went, because when I had spoken to her, I was driving. And I went, I'm going to put that in as soon as I stop. And I obviously didn't stop or forgot. Like it just went poof out of my head. So that when I had to, reschedule my Afghan because she wasn't feeling well, I'm like, oh, I have a half a day here. I'll just swoop you in here.
Oh.
So I said to the Afghan, I'm like, hey, can I come later? Can I come late? Like 6? And normally I would have just done that. But my ankle is in a brace because tendonitis and flat feet and yada, 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 ouch. So, ouch. And then you get a 100-pound dog who doesn't want to stand up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those days are over.
What was that? Yeah.
Those days are over for me.
And that just made the owie worse.
Oh yeah, as it would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So since I hadn't gotten to my next stop, which had 2 little dogs, whom half the time she washes them for me and she does a decent job, so I'm like, fine. I called uncle after some mild back and forth with the Afghan, and I was like, You sure you're fine with skipping a week? They're like, yes, you're fine. Feel better. And I'm like, yeah. So I almost wasn't here. I was almost working like a lunatic. But ow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, oh, hello, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
You're on the wrong side of things, but that's okay.
She is super tiny.
She's amazingly tiny.
Yeah. She looks like a gizmo. She looks like a tiny little gremlin.
Yeah,
Really does.
kind of is because she's pretty much all just eyeballs and teeth at this time.
Yeah.
She's just like everything in the mouth: toes, fingers, your nose, your lip, your cheek.
Uh-huh.
But she is the master of the head tilt and the side eye. When she's getting what she wants, it's I'm so cute, and when she's not, it's side eye. Scrutiny. You know who I am? Huh. Say what? Yeah.
So the topic today is when to say when.
When to say when.
Yeah. When to say when.
It's a hard lesson. It's a
So when
hard.
to say when you're done with the groom, when to say when you're done grooming for the day or the week. Just when.
Just
When.
Yeah.
I think when.
because I've already said when, and I stopped taking new dogs years ago, and because I said when,
Mhm.
my body can't handle that anymore. So I am keeping my seniors, and as they go, filling it with cats and bunnies. Because there's no cat or bunny that weighs 250 pounds and doesn't want to stand up and needs me to lift his butt 800 times in a groom.
Oh, I
I'm
just.
in the middle of saying when. I'm saying when right now. Right now. Come on.
Yeah.
Right now.
And yeah. And to tell you the truth, I stopped taking large dogs a while ago. Except if it's a Black Russian Terrier in my service area, because I'm stupid.
Oh,
I'm a stupid.
See, I had a different when to say when. I had to figure out when to scale back all of my dogs so that I can be more into the business. So, like today, I only had like 5 dogs, and I do them. I'm the powerhouse, so I'll do them between 8 and 12. They're all regulars. I don't take new clients. And I had a girl who had to call out, so I had to take 4 or 5 more, plus work a little bit longer bathing. So in order to sustain having to, you know, take on those roles, I had to learn when to scale back my grooming and not do it 5 days a week, and make them shorter and listen to my body that way, so I could be available for the business.
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to materially participate is what the accountant says. You have to materially participate.
Yes.
Well, sometimes you need to work on your business instead of in your business.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And that is very important.
Yep.
Yeah, and as far as the dogs, when to say when they say, that's when, exactly when they say. And if you're paying attention, that's a done deal. That's easy. That's the easy part.
Yes.
The hard part
Mary
is
said
deciding,
when
do I want to do this until I'm 60 or 70 or 80? And I know some of us are still doing that.
Yeah.
I said something when I was very young at my very first salon to my very first real mentor. Her name was Phyllis Stansberry. May she rest in peace. She asked me one day if I was going to go into competition or do something. I don't even remember what she asked me. It had something to do with grooming. And I, being the young, stupid, arrogant, cocky person that I was, I said, "Oh, this is just a stepping stone. I'm not going to be grooming when I'm 60. I've got 4 years to prove her wrong." I've got 4 years. And I woke up the other day and I'm like, "Ooh, I better get busy."
Hey, you have 3 years, 300 and some odd days. You can, as long as you're at 59 and, the week before you're 68.
Probably going to end up like that, but yeah, I got 4 years from my birthday in July.
Yeah. Oh, so you guys, your birthday's in July? Oh, so you got 4 years from today. You're fine.
Right.
Fine. So much time. So much
Well,
time.
that's plenty of time for, God forbid, that all my current clients have peacefully passed away at a ripe old age. I've got enough time for that. And then if I can get out of there, probably by the end of this year, I will be so happy. I will be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's just on to doing my little projects that I want to do and round out my career and go in a couple of kind of different directions, but the same.
So
I'm
then
happy.
you will be manufacturing and producing and selling your own line of mud for dogs.
No, probably not, but it'll be
Okay.
something like that. My product won't be something that you can just buy off of the shelf.
Okay.
It's a tailored apothecary is what it is. So it's open to everyone, but I'm just now forming my mission statement and exactly how I'm going to dispense, if you will, the things that I'm going to do. So I'm still going to be strong into education. I'm coming up with about 4 new programs that are going to complement what I do, but take it far, far beyond what I've gone before. And this is the time. I'm saying when. I'm putting my foot down and doing the things that I've been talking about for years and years and years. And now I'm going to actually do it. And Angie's like, finally. So, yeah, I'm taking the step. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do all the things. So
I may have said that.
And
Those words may have been uttered.
Angie is fast following in Mary's footsteps with breaking her foot off in someone's ass motivationally.
Mhm.
And with
I'm
love.
there. I have a special cream for that. Okay.
The funny thing is, it's not just you. So yes, I have totally taken a page out of the Mary Aquendo boot to the butt school of get it done. And yes, as I'm not sure if she's here.
She is.
But
We're on in the back. We're on in the background.
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, she's a friend of mine. No, not Mary.
Oh.
No, the friend of mine who I said, okay, you know what? Then you're just gonna do this and blah 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 blah, and here we go. And literally, not so much shoved her off the cliff. Is I put her in a hang glider and said, ready, go. And yeah, so that happened.
So you pretty much said we go on 3 and pushed her on 2?
Like 1.5.
You helped her when to say when.
I
That's
did,
what you did.
and it's like now.
Sometimes we need to nudge people when to say when as well.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, she's currently in Facebook jail, so she can't comment. But yeah. So, but it works, and I mean, and Mary's right. I can't tell you how many times that Mary has put me in the hang glider and said, "Okay, take a deep breath. We're going to go in," and we didn't even hit one. She was just like, "Puh."
Yeah.
She's still buckling the strap.
I'm like, I'm not sure if this, and she's like, "You're good." Boop. It's like,
Well, I mean, when people do that for you, it's kind of like you have to wake up, because so many people in their life, they're working, they're doing their thing, they're going through their routine, and we easily lose the fact that we're not a young spring chicken anymore until we hurt really bad every day. And until then, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, am I planning for my future? Am I doing the things that are on my bucket list? Or am I doing the things that the projects that I wanted to do? You know, and I'm headed to 56. And after my lovely weekend with the ladies of the boot camp, You get to thinking to yourself and you're like, wow, if not now, then when?
Mm-hmm.
If it's always in the future and I'm going to get around to that, I'm going to get around to that, then you never will. But if you put a date to it, if you put it on a piece of paper, if you tell your friends you're going to do it, and then they go, hey, are you on page 2 yet? Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you really need that person to love you enough to say, okay, cut the shit. Let's go.
I made like a little accountability chat. I threw it out on my Facebook page and said, I need someone to help me because I can't, if I have someone to just even talk to, or I say I'm doing it. And so it's like a little chat of like 3 of us that we put in there what we were doing and just sort of like, I don't know, we really just put it on there and then encourage each other. But at least it's in writing and we know we're putting it out there that it helps us stay. Because I'll tell you what, don't tell Mary this, but when I was working with her and I would say, hey, you know, how about we do 2 or 3 weeks for the next one? Because I'm really busy. I still really didn't do my homework until like the night before. No matter if it was a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. So I need just that. I do that push. I'm better under pressure. And, you know, so it didn't matter.
Watching, right?
She knows what you're saying.
Don't tell her.
She knows things. She knows things. And
She knows.
part of my problem is I need to know when to say no to just new things in projects.
That's a hard one.
Because it's not even the being held accountable. I say yes to all of the things because I get really excited about all of the things I want to do. And I cannot realistically do them. Like, okay, let me rephrase. If I was single with no animals and lived like and watched no TV and had no downtime and did all of the things said I wanted to do, I could possibly maybe get them all done. But
everyone it's yes, you say yes, then you figure it out later.
Yeah.
Gets me in trouble all the time.
Oh, well, okay, Mary. First of all, I did say yes to something today, but that doesn't count because I'm already going to be there. So I'm already going to be there. I'm already going to be doing the thing. So if that's okay. No, I didn't say yes to anything today. I kind of got voluntold that I was running for an officer in my Toastmasters group again. Because I do love my Toastmasters group, but my days off changed. So, yeah, Mary is saying, yes, she did. And I told you, listen, if you want to argue with me, you know where to come to talk, to say some things, the buttons to hit. Like I said, I'm already going to be there. It's not going to take.
Yeah, well, I'm down to 2
Convention
days.
stuff doesn't count.
And I'm leaving out of the salon, and I've already made a Michelle hole in the wall, like a cartoon. Like I'm almost there.
Funneling out with a spoon.
Yeah, my husband just got a really good job that I think he'll be very happy with.
Do you think I will?
You're live. He's liable to say what's something. But yeah, and it puts him actually at work every day, and he doesn't really do a lot of remote work anymore. So the days that I'm here, I get so much done, and I'm just now getting back into the routine. And I'm working on my list that I have been given because I wrote it down and people saw it. So now I have to deliver, and that's what I'm working on. I'm saying when, right now.
So we're all in a position in our careers, right? We've all been doing this a really, really long time. What about, I mean, it took a lot to get to the point to be able to say when to say when to clients and to get to this point. So any of the like younger people starting or anything else on here, I don't know, what do we have for them, you know, if they're not in their careers yet to be able to, you know, do the things that we're up to. I know when to say when was hard within the business and to the clients over the years.
See, but it's different. And we're using when instead of no, when to say no, when to like cry uncle, because we're trying to be positive and not negative. But there's different levels of that.
Mhm.
Even earlier in your career, you can go, you know what? I'm not doing once a year dogs.
Mhm.
I'm not doing, and that's something I did pretty early in my career. And it was a little scary, but what it did was it let me focus more and it let me grow and be a better groomer and pay better attention to the dogs I did have, which built my reputation in the community like, oh, you should go here.
Mhm.
So there's different things you can do at different stages of your career.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
When I
never
started
too
as a
early.
mom,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never too early to actually think about what you're going to do in 5 years, in 10 years, in 30 years. At least have a shadow of a game plan so that when you hit your 10-year anniversary or your 20-year anniversary, then it's time to start looking at your 30th year anniversary and saying, okay, I need to make the correct choices and decisions right now that will lead me to where I want to go when I'm in 35 years, 40 years. You know,
Mhm.
you're not going to want to be grooming for forever, even if your wrists feel good. Sometimes they just all blend together at a certain stage, and you're like, okay, I've got to switch this up for my own sanity. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know that I can do 15 modified lambs a day. You know, I'd be bored to death. But you've been there. We've all been
Right.
there. It's like, okay, everything gets a short body and longer legs, short body, longer legs. I
Mhm.
just, I'm dying.
Right.
You know? So you have to be able to say at any given moment, and I usually do it around either spring cleaning or the first of the year or your birthday. Choose a day that you just take stock of what you want to do with your career, with your life. Do you want to groom for forever? Some people do. Some people are like, you know what? I think I'm going to start scaling back because I had this other dream. That's fine too. But start planning for it. Write it down in a journal. Start flow charting what you need to do today to get to where you want to be in 10 years with all those good choices, those solid foundation choices underneath of you.
And put aside the fears, right? That we're gonna get bad reviews. We're gonna have people talking. None of those things matter. We're not gonna make the money. You're gonna make the money. There's enough dogs. Like, but like
There
all of those things
is a
stop
lot
us.
of dogs.
There are. Yes, there's a lot of dogs. Yes. Yeah.
So
That was always
Shannon
hard.
Winings Roberts says, for the newbies, I feel like they just need to know their worth without too much ego. Groomers are special, and we can prove it early or late, our choice.
Mhm.
We just have to, again, strive for continued education and to be better every day. Short term and long term and king long term goals are crucial for business. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. And even if you don't own a business, if you're just starting out, act like you're going to have some type of business in the future. So
Mhm.
really pay attention to how the running of your shop goes. You can absolutely learn so much just by paying attention and just saying, hey,
Right.
can I help you with that? Hey, can
Yeah.
I be your gopher or, you know, your go-to girl? You know, start learning how to order, start learning how to do the rotation, start learning how to do all those little things if that's something that you want to do.
And
Even if it isn't, it will help you in a business later on with something.
and by the way, I also wanted to say, because we tend to be very entrepreneurial, we do lean towards that and say when you're in your new business. I also want to say there is nothing wrong if you never want that headache.
Right.
Mhm.
If
There are a
you
lot of
never,
groomers that have
there's
zero desire.
So
so
when I
many
yeah. So
fabulous groomers who've got
when I
zero desire.
started, I could have easily stayed where I was at. Like I wanted a business, but I was content where I was. I was there for 13 years. I was a vet groomer, made good money, part-time hours, and it was just a really toxic environment. And I chose to go. I would have stayed there forever if I was treated right. So like, even though I had a little bit of a bug to open my own business a while ago, I still would have stayed somewhere,
Yeah.
that it was comfortable. I could go and I had that comfort.
And two key points were just made, one by you and one by Shannon. And
Mhm.
that is if they'd have treated you right.
Correct.
And that's why I like my class, Care and Keeping of a Groomer, because they're And it's mainly stories of all the ways, all the places that done me wrong. And what they could have done to make me just a very loyal employee, because I didn't necessarily start out wanting to own my own business
Mm-hmm.
because it's a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, places don't necessarily know how to treat groomers. And Shannon made a very good point where you are your business. You don't have to run the shop, but you're still going to have requests. So
Mhm.
your skills are your business.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's your name, your reputation. No matter what salon you work for, your clients know who you are.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And that reputation that you build, your name that you build, it's important.
It is.
And everybody at every level should start a portfolio.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should have a portfolio, even if it has one thing in it. All your certificates, all of your before and afters, grooms that you're proud of, maybe grooms that you weren't so proud of, and you just keep a mark of how you've improved over the year.
Mm-hmm.
This is invaluable for teaching future clients and for showing future owners what you're about. That's a really important document or a collection of documents.
I made a scrapbook because one of the last salon that I was working at for the longest period of time that I was at any salon, I wasn't allowed to hang up any certificates or anything because they would look junky.
Wow.
So because I was the only one that had them.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Who looks junky?
was it difficult? I have a question about the person who said that to you. Do you find they had a very hard time getting through life with that crippling allergy to money?
Right.
Because that's a debilitating allergy, I found.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So I started a scrapbook and I started putting them in there. And then I was taking pictures of my grim dogs and I was putting them in there. And so that was it was just a for me kind of thing because I couldn't even put the scrapbook out on the front table. That wasn't allowed because it would look junky. So no pictures, no certificates, nothing. So um,
That's
you know,
insane to me.
Right.
What client doesn't want to know how awesome you are with other dogs as well and
well,
see your journey? What client doesn't want
yes.
that?
See, but the thing is that if one person has them and others refuse to do any continuing education, then
Mm-hmm.
Then everybody just wants you. Darn.
Aw.
So yeah, so when I started my salon, they all went on the walls. Not just mine, everybody's.
Everybody's.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's. And I get frames. They're all the same frames for everybody's. Mine aren't special.
Now, see, this is where I say she had an allergy to money, because if she would have paid you hourly, given you a slightly higher hourly rate than everybody else, put all of your stuff on the wall and said, "Oh, you want an appointment with her with all the certificates? It's X amount more than with anyone else in the
Yes.
salon."
Yep.
But
Yes.
she didn't have any of those either. So don't outshine.
Mhm.
What was
That
that?
kind of thing. She didn't have any of those either. So it was a don't outshine kind of thing.
Well, that's when you know it's when to say when to go
That's-
to the next step.
Yep. Yep.
That's when you do that. When you find people are holding you back, you have to take the next step forward. Your career is not their responsibility. They're going to get whatever it is that they're getting out of you.
Yep.
And then they're either going to nurture you and be a lifelong friend and mentor, or they're just going to be a step along the way.
Yep. And that's why the last 5 years I have gone full bore and did all the things. Master that, master this, mastering that, mastering this, just because I can.
Mm-hmm.
And why not?
Right.
And I encourage my staff to do that too. And and I ask them at their reviews, so what are your goals for the next year? What do you want to do? What certificates do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
What things do you want to, what education do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to think about it because your review is coming up. So I want you to have an answer for me on whatever day. And
Right.
then when I sit down, so what was it? And it's like, well, I'd like to do this. Okay, then I will get you the membership for that. Let's get that certificate going as soon as you're ready. You know,
Mhm.
because I pay for their whatever certificate, whatever education, whatever. I pay for that. I don't care. Why not? It just makes my salon better. And yes, they may leave. However, Angie's been with me 23 years.
Mhm.
She's
You know-
she's not going anywhere.
Well, you know what? And I always say this in my classes when people, because obviously as a business owner, we don't want people to leave, right? If that's the income and all that. But you know what? If I train somebody up and they went out on their own and I can turn out another one good groomer that we need,
Yep.
that you can trust,
Mhm.
I've done my job. They're
Mhm.
not going to touch my business. They're not going to do any. At least I know that there's groomers out there that I helped grow that are trustworthy with pets
Yeah. And
and
that's like,
they're good groomers.
see, I teach my groomers that how to the business aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you deal with that? Because one of the salons I was at, the IRS men came
Mhm.
and they came in the door and they closed the salon. And 12 of us lost our jobs. All gone. No more salon. Poof, gone. Monday, went to work. No more salon. No more things.
Who
Empty.
who
Gone.
came in the salon?
The IRS.
Oh,
The men. The scary men. And the very,
big
very
men.
nice
they are
men
the
are.
scary men. They
They
are
are.
the
Very,
scary
very
men.
scary men. And I
And
was
women, they're the scary people.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid and they came in the salon and nearly peed myself. Because I didn't have any idea that was a thing. That
Mhm.
the I mean, I thought there was just like movie stuff. It's not.
Right.
And so that salon was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I teach the groomers that I train that do not mess around. You pay your taxes
Oh,
first and foremost.
absolutely.
Before you do anything else, you take that and you set it aside in your tax account. Don't screw around with it because I assure you, they will not screw around with how. Okay, so a little bit of floor eating. Um, that's one way to go about it.
Oh,
But
wiggle, wiggle.
so yeah, so I teach them all the different aspects of business so that tomorrow, if she wanted to go out and start her own business, she could, and could be successful and do it right next door, and it
Mhm.
wouldn't affect my business at all,
Mhm.
and she would prosper just the same.
Mhm.
And then I could have somebody I knew I would be like, okay, you can go here. Because I
Mhm.
think at this point, if I send one more dog to Suzeco, she's going to come and beat me with like the largest hammer she can find because she can only take so many pets.
Mhm.
And it's to the point where, in the past, she's like, Angie, thank you for thinking of me, but please stop. So then, like, I'll call like a while later and I'll be like, hi. So, you take any more dogs? And she'll say yes. And then eventually she'll call me and go, thanks, please stop. No,
Stop.
okay. But I know that they're safe with her.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel personally responsible for churning out as many good groomers as I can before I'm
Mhm.
all the way done. It's a personal responsibility that I take very seriously.
Yep.
And leaps and bounds since when I started. Like, it's so crazy to see the growth in our industry just from when I've been a part of it. I'm just
Oh,
so
yeah.
proud. I'm so
Mhm.
proud of us as an industry. We've
Well,
come through so much.
Ashley will be my 8th groomer that I've trained. So I've trained my fair share.
Right.
And they say if every groomer trains just one, then we'll at least be equaling out. But if you can train 2,
Yeah.
maybe eventually we can catch up.
Train your replacement and one for spare.
Yes,
It's like kings and queens.
yes, exactly.
At least
Things we had
that
one for
many.
spare. So I have trained 6 extra. So because, well, I mean, it is me, and you know, I need as many extras of as many things as I can get, like lives, groomers, stuff.
Have you
Um,
used up your 9?
Huh?
You've used up your 9, haven't you?
Yes.
No, I still have 3. I have 3 lives left. Thank you very much.
Holy cow.
And I am saving them and holding them very dear.
Okay.
I have only been dead 6 times, so I got
Holy.
3 left.
A few more in there.
I do. I got at least 3. But
By the
I'm
way, Alaric says hello. He is not the dog that is usually here, and he is not the main floor eater. FYI.
the main floor eater.
Main floor, yeah.
Notice the addendum there. The
I
main
mean, he
floor.
did go, oh, there's other dog saliva here? This must be a delicacy.
Isn't it though?
It is.
Isn't it?
What do you
Well, all right, my ladies.
All right. Is
We're
it
coming
about
up on-
time to wrap it up because there was more than orange juice in this glass.
Oh,
Oh.
somebody had an adult beverage.
It was that kind. Coconut infused tequila. Sorry, pineapple juice. I'm so tired. I didn't even know what I'm drinking.
She's drunk.
I'm what now?
Night, Mary.
Mary. All right,
Hi guys.
guys. We'll see you next week. Safe travels.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.